What's going on YouTube? Top Tech here today. Today we've got the comparison of two smartphones. So on the left here we've got the Google Nexus. This is a Google branded phone, as you can tell by the logo at the back. And it's the hardware is actually made by Samsung, and it's running 4.1 Jelly Bean, so complete stock pure Android. On the left here, we've got the 5th generation iPhone, the iPhone 5 by Apple. And this is running the latest version of Apple's iOS software, iOS 6. Now, both of the devices have their pros and cons. And for various reasons, we're going to be looking at the two devices, performing a few different tests, and showing you guys really the differences between both devices. Now, first of all, from a hardware point of view, on the left here, we've got a 4.65-inch Super AMOLED HD display with a resolution of 1280 by 720. So here on the right, we've got the iPhone 5 with a 4-inch diagonal display with a resolution of 640 by 1136. However, the pixels per inch, the pixel density on here, which makes it a Retina display, is 326 compared to the 313 in this display over here. Now, although that may not make the biggest of differences to majority of consumers, if you guys are really into that kind of pixel density and resolution, then maybe you might go and steer towards this one instead of the iPhone 5. But the first test we want to do is actually a multitasking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit all the applications. So with the Android multitasking, you actually have a button and you can see each application as a window. And actually, I realize now I've got a lot of applications open, so that's it cleared. With the iPhone, it's less of an experience with multitasking, whereas you just really have shortcuts to switch between applications, as opposed to seeing the whole screen running on Android, the 4.1 Jelly Bean. Now, they did recently, just in the summer, in July actually, they did push the 4.1, and it is coming to a lot of devices. It is coming to a lot of Android devices, including the Samsung S3, and it does come now with the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. That's standard. So what we're going to do now, although they are running completely different tests, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the browser on both of them, and they're both using Wi-Fi right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Settings, and I'm going to go to General. Sorry, what am I doing? There, I'm going to privacy. I'm going to clear the cache, or the cache, if you want to say it that way, and I'm going to clear the history. I'm going to just close that tab. Again, this is a difference in the tab browsing compared to iOS. It's slightly different. So we're going to open the browser there. Start on Google. Just do the same here. Okay, we're going to go to the history here. I'm gonna, what am I doing? I'm gonna clear the history, and we're gonna start by launching. Let's see. Oh, what's going on? Okay, I'm just gonna start by launching the Apple website. Don't want to have any fanboys around here. Why are you launching Apple and not Google? Because Google's already launched, as you can tell. So I'll start that there. Let me because I just want to go to the home page. So there we go. And I'm going to try and do this as fair as possible. Obviously, for any scientists out there or investigators, you may say, no, it's an unfair test because there are factors such as human factors and errors, etc., that can affect the speed, the router, etc., the list is ongoing. But I'm going to try and do this as fair as possible. So without further ado, let's go to apple.com. So the iPhone, so the Nexus actually loaded faster. The website, the content did start loading faster on the iPhone 5, but the full thing came up much faster on the Nexus. So we'll just do one more test. Let's go to yahoo.com. So it's there. Let's go to yahoo.com. Okay, so we got both of them here loaded up. 3, 2, 1. And let's see, once again, this time actually it was sort of even. The content again did start loading here faster, and then this one slightly took over. Now I have to say though that they're in different languages. I'm not sure why that is, probably regional reasons. But nevertheless, that was just a quick test to show you guys. Now, in terms of the physical appearance, now This is a bigger screen, so when you are holding it in your hand, you might find it might be slightly more usable, and also you get a bigger picture really when you're seeing things. But physically, from the industrial point of view and the design, although I do have a case now on the iPhone 5, I personally, this is from a personal point of view, so you may have your own opinion. I personally like the design on the iPhone 5 compared to the 4 and the 4S, where we had the two double-sided glass, which was still very nice. You've got now glass on the front with a slight bezel of glass on the back, on the front, top, and bottom, although you can't see it now. And then you've got an aluminium, black adenoised aluminium or aluminum for people that say it like that. On it, so the design is very nice. It does, although with the case right now, it is actually 7.6 millimeters compared to the 8.6 on the Nexus at its thickest point. So this may be, from a hardware point of view, you may say that it is better. However, I did use this for a month before the iPhone 5, and I did really like it. I did like the interface. It's very more customizable. You can really customize a lot with the Nexus. I will be obviously including a few videos and photos later on in this video. This is going to be quite a long video actually, but I want to show you now some of the different interfaces. Now, when you first go to unlock it, first of all, the difference is that the lock button on the iPhone is here at the top, whereas on the Nexus it's just there on the side. Now, for both reasons, for better or for worse, they could be of preference to different people. So, for example, with this Nexus, I used my thumb to unlock it because it's perfectly positioned because of the screen size. However, with the iPhone, I can use my index finger right there, and that unlocks it there. So, they're just really practical purposes. So when you actually get to the lock screen, the iPhone has that slide to unlock, and if you like, you can put a four-digit password or even a longer password. But with the Android, really, you can set other things such as face unlock, as well as numbers, as well as the pattern. I personally choose not to have passwords, although it's not the most secure. But I personally just don't want to have password. Now, if you go into the lock screen on the Android, it does show you quite a nice interface. You can actually sort of set different options. So for example, if I go to the left here, I can activate the camera. If I go up, I can activate Google Now, which is a new feature in Jelly Bean 4.1, or I can just unlock it. Also, the notifications will come up small icons if I do have any emails, messages, or phone calls that I missed. I really like the lock screen, how it's like a live wallpaper. It's very smooth with the new Project Butter. So when you're moving, everything just happens so nicely. Some people prefer to have, the animations and the movement between pages and applications to be much snappier, so which can be adjusted in the settings, but I personally really like this interface of Project Butter. There are widgets. The good thing about the Android is that you can really put your icons wherever you like. So even if I wanted to put it there, I won't be obliged, like with the iPhone, to have it be locked so that everything is towards the front. Now, right now, I don't have any empty spaces, as you can tell. But with the Android, it's more customizable. You've got that notification center on both of them. I personally really like, although I'm sure it's possible on the Android, I really like this the stocks. Although I'm not really interested into stocks and things like that, I really like how it's just moving across there. It looks very professional and sleek. The weather there at the top is a really good feature. Tap to tweet, tap to post. I'm sure at some point, if you customize and put the right settings, you can do everything like that on the Android. Now, one of the biggest differences between both devices. Now, I'm going to talk about iOS and Jelly Bean as opposed to the Nexus phone and the iPhone. The Nexus actually has the Play Store, the Google Play Store. Now, although the Google Play Store is always adding a lot of apps and a lot of games, the iPhone App Store, iOS App Store, is still ahead in the game with that, and there are many more developers for the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch compared to the Nexus. The only problem now is with the release of the iPhone 5, it doesn't have the same system as Android, where it doesn't matter what resolution or screen size you have, the apps are automatically formatted for the screen. So unfortunately with the iPhone, when you do launch some applications, such as, let me think, Skype right here, you get this letterbox. Now with the black iPhone, it's not such a big deal because it does blend in with the glass bezels at the top and bottom. However, if you do have a white iPhone which my dad does actually, you can tell that there's quite a big contrast between the white and then the black letterbox and then the application in the center. So again, it will eventually be resolved when developers, but it will be months until a lot of apps will eventually be in that format. But from variety, a diverse point of view, the iPhone 5 does offer a lot, the App Store does offer a lot of applications from most developers. However, I have to say I'm very impressed with the Google Play Store. They are adding a lot of stuff, and the interface is quite smooth compared to the App Store, where you have small little tabs at the bottom and you have to go scroll up and down things. However, they have changed it, so it's slightly more smoother compared to the previous App Store, and you do get those animations and things moving around. But I still prefer this Google Play Store. If Apple did have something similar to this, it'd probably be an even better App Store. So moving out now, I want to go into one last detail before I let you guys go. This has been quite a long video, and that's actually Google Voice. So Google Voice is really a feature similar to Siri, if you like, and you can do a lot of things with this. So I'll leave the iPhone to the side and start with Google now. So I'll just say Google, do I need an umbrella today? Now that's a question a lot of people ask. I don't know if you heard that, it was a bit quiet. But I just asked really, do I need an umbrella today? And it gave me the weather straight away. Now, a lot of features aren't available everywhere around the world, such as the weather or restaurants, as is in the US of A, or US. So, for example, I can ask the weather and it does give me the answer. The only thing is, I find that Google Voice isn't as personal as Siri is. Siri, you can ask many questions, and it seems to be more responsive and more interacting with the humans. So although it is a bit sad to be sitting there and going, Siri, do you want to get married to me? It may just seem that it may just show that Siri has the ability to be talking personally to humans. So obviously Siri is still in a beta process. Well, there's the answer. She already has everything needed, so she doesn't want to get married to me. But if I were to ask that to Google Voice, it will just say, do you want me to search that? Which isn't obviously as personal and doesn't have the same ability as Siri. So I don't really use Siri that much, although sometimes just for fun, I would just say, Siri, remind me to, I don't know, go swimming at 4 o'clock. Remind me to go shopping at 5 o'clock. Remind me to wake up tomorrow morning. And I have to say she is pretty good, or he is, or she is, or whatever gender you want to put it. She is, or he is, once again, very good at responding to those kind of things. Now, I'm going to put some photos and videos now at the end of the video for you guys to just check out the difference. They both shoot in 1080p at 30 frames per second, whereas the Nexus here has a 5 megapixel camera, and this one has an 8 megapixel camera, and this is and has been dubbed by analysts as good as modern day DSLRs. The front-facing camera, which is positioned here, or the FaceTime HD camera, as it's called in the iPhone 5, is now shooting at 720p. However, it's only 1.2 megapixels, whereas here you got 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera. And if we just flip that to the back, sorry, you can see that this has got a more square form factor, or rectangle form factor for any geometric people out there. And you can actually remove the battery, and this takes a regular SIM, whereas this takes the nano SIM, which was a problem in the beginning, but I was lucky enough actually that the company that provides my services had it quite fast. So you've got the camera. They're pretty much a bit the same size. The Google Nexus is slightly larger. They both have an LED flash. The LED on the iPhone is slightly smaller, and well, they only eventually added it on the iPhone 4, but that was just a quick, okay, I won't say quick because that was actually took about 17 minutes, comparison of the two devices, the Nexus, Google Nexus, and this is the iPhone 5. Now the Google Nexus is expected to be updated hopefully by the end of this year. A lot of rumors point towards LG as the hardware manufacturers of the Nexus, but if you guys are interested and really look for a different phone, this is available on AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint in the US on contracts of two years for $199 or $299. They both are available in LTE versions. This is the HSPA Plus because we don't have LTE where I live. However, this is available unlocked from the Google Play Store for $349 unlocked. So that's a really competitive price compared to this. So only for $50 compared from a 2-year contract with LTE, or $350 or $349, which is only $50 or 50, yeah, exactly $50 difference. With the flexible plan, you can take this around the world wherever you want. Although you can unlock this eventually, especially if you're on Verizon, because they have no plans to lock them. But again, that's just from a price point. So if you guys want a phone that has pretty much similar power, you don't really mind if you're going from Android or the iPhone 5, you don't mind the system, you just really want to be part of the smartphone world, to be honest, and want those features, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, then you guys maybe might go towards this phone. But if you guys want to be part of the Apple hype, then go for the iPhone 5. So again, this video wasn't any opinions. I personally am using the iPhone 5 now as my daily driver. I was using the Nexus phone until the iPhone came out. And I have to say I really liked it. It was a different system because I'd never used Android before. That said though, if you guys are hoping for better features, and this will be updated, I don't think the design will be changed, please wait before the end of the year, as I do expect an update soon. However, do realize that the price of the phone, when it does eventually come out, will be higher. It won't be $349 from Google. That's really because the phone has been out for quite a while now, although it's still able to compete with a lot of these smartphones. Not as powerful as the Google the Galaxy S3, but still has that stock 4.1 Jelly Bean experience with dual core processor. So that's from Top of Tech. Don't forget to check out the video right after this, and I'll catch you later.